It's 90.3 FM, KEXP, streaming online all over the world at kexp.org. My name is Morgan, down here in the live room with Cigarettes After Sex, back for their second time here in our studios, playing some new songs from their new album, Cry. Take it away.
peach baseball cap falling in my lap. You were so thirsty. Could you love me instead of all the boyfriends you got? No one make you forget about all of those rich fuck boys. Kiss it off me if you're gonna break my heart. This is a good start. Kiss it off me. You always bite your lip when you feel it as we move slowly. Any peach baseball cap is tossed under the rack of clothes and your jewelry, and you beg for it in the morning again before you go to the gym. Said it's a bad habit, you just can't quit. Kiss it off me if you're gonna break my heart. This is a good start. Kiss it off me. Kiss it off me if you're gonna break my heart. This is a good start. Kiss it off me if you're gonna break my heart. This is a good start. Kiss it off me.
It's Cigarettes After Sex live here on KEXP, playing some new songs from the brand new record Cry that just came out on October 25th. The new record is so good. Welcome back to KEXP. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's glad to be here.
So it's been a couple years since you put out a record, and it sounds like the way that you recorded the last record and where you recorded this new record was very different. Can you talk about where you recorded this new record?
Yeah, actually, it was mostly done in Mallorca, Spain, in this kind of, I guess we're calling it like a mansion-like house that was really isolated and like kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we just thought, the idea was actually to kind of always, in this band, record in exotic locations, or just kind of like strange locations even. And then at this point, it's like we had I guess like the time worked out where we were in Spain, so we just thought, why don't we go to this like great place in Mallorca and just record something and see what happens.
How did you find this place in Mallorca?
Well, actually, our label head, Tim Putnam, like knew that we wanted to record, you know, kind of all over the world, and like I just said, in all these kind of like crazy or exotic places.
Yeah.
And he was kind of on the search for a place, and he found this like really great house. and just said, "What do you think about this?" And we said, "Yeah, it looks great. Let's do it."
Cool. Can you describe what the house looked like, what the scenery, what the backdrop was? What were you looking at while you were recording this?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it was great. It was just like this very like kind of modern architecture, and it was just framed with like kind of this like desert around us, just like trees and bushes and like in the sand and kind of everything around us. And we actually found that we liked recording. There was this like great little courtyard, and we just set up all of our gear and we just recorded kind of under the stars every night. I just thought that was kind of like the way to do it. There was even like kind of thunderstorms. It was kind of everything you would want.
Wow.
Like for like what we were going for. So it worked out really great.
Can you actually hear the ambient noise in the recordings?
It's funny, yeah. I mean, even like we had these ambient mics set up. I don't think we could use them in the mix, but it was just like all just crickets.
Wow.
Crickets and like, and then at like 3 a.m. every night, like just the sprinklers would come on. There were just like sounds of rain. There were just sounds of everything in there. So there's a sense of it, like, but it's like kind of more buried, I would say now, in the final mix.
What other exotic locations have you recorded in?
I guess, that's funny because the idea was to record exotic locations, but that's probably like the first one we've really done. But also on this record, there's one other location, and that was in Bochum, Germany. We'd played this really great show, like on one of our first European tours, and went to this great cathedral in Bochum, Germany. We just loved the show so much, we thought, hey, why don't we come back and do a recording session here? So the song Don't Let Me Go, the first one we played, is taken from that, and then another song called Touch. So it kind of like worked our way into like more and more exotic. So it was kind of like, all right, first thing was a stairway in El Paso, in my hometown. Then there was like a little practice space, which is not exotic, in New York, in Brooklyn. And then we did the cathedral in Germany, and now this Mallorca, Spain thing. So I guess we're working our way into that.
Do you have any wish list places that you'd like to try and go to?
I keep thinking about that. I know like since like so many movie theaters have closed down kind of all over the country just because of like the state of the way things are, like everything's like streaming now and Netflix and all that. It'd be great to kind of just go like across the US and find these really abandoned movie theaters, and kind of just do some sessions in there and see what it's like. I'm sure there's like some really great old ones we could find.
Yeah, there's a couple here.
Really? Okay.
I'll let you know where they are.
Okay, maybe tonight then.
Yeah. You described this new album as being like a film. What do you mean by that?
I guess it's just like the way that I tend to write is I feel like that I just love film so much, but I'm not a director or anything, so I love just the idea of scenes, like the words and the music create this kind of scene in your mind. And that's like, the same way that you go watch a movie and you see a scene before you, but these songs for me like all like are just kind of like scenes. And even like verse to verse is a scene. Like specifically like the song we're gonna play at the end, Falling in Love, is like two like really specific scenes, the two verses, to me. And like many of the songs we've done even on our last record, it's like, here's this scene, this takes place on the Lower East Side. Here's this scene like in a bedroom in New York or something, or so I kind of think of it that way. So it becomes a movie in that way. That's just every song has its own little scene. Yeah.
And are they more autobiographical, or is there a plot that follows through it? Do you have characters that you think about?
Yeah, there's even recurring characters in many of the songs, and so just because it's the songs to me are like a journal, they're like a memoir or something. So if I'm telling my real life, then some of these relationships have lasted, and some were a long time ago, and they maybe you talk to that person again later. But actually in this record, there's a little more of invention, a little more fantasy, and a little more of kind of like gravitating towards imagery that I liked, that I was talking about before, but kind of just creating things that aren't exactly memoirs this time, just kind of like scenes that I thought were interesting, but they didn't necessarily happen to me on some of these songs.
I went to your show, so good.
Thanks.
You have a visual component to it, so you have images of women, you have images of maybe rain falling.
Yeah.
How do you curate those images for your live shows? And did you create those?
I wish. No, those are like taken from like all the masters of cinema and stuff like that. So we kind of just ripped those, which we probably shouldn't say that.
They look really cool though.
Okay. But no, it's same thing. Like pretty much everything we do with this, it just feels like, what do I gravitate towards? Like, what do we all gravitate towards? And with these images, it's just films that I saw that an image like blew me away in the film. And I just thought, okay, like it seems like part of our show would be great to kind of get this, kind of movie-like atmosphere, like just going to a theater, like, talking about movie theaters. And I just love movie theaters so much. I just love the feeling of being in one and sitting in one. So I kind of want our shows to kind of feel like that a bit. But these images were just kind of like things that I saw that just knocked me out, and I thought, okay, why don't we just put that in the show? It's just like such a great image, just kind of make it, just loop this one moment that I love in this one film. So they're all just, it's like a handful of films that I just took things from.
Yeah, it does look really cool.
Thanks.
I forgot to mention, too, the venue you played in, Neptune, that was a movie theater here.
Was it really?
That was converted into a venue.
That's great. I was kind of looking at the ceiling and thinking it had that old-fashioned, like the little circular thing in the middle that you saw in really old theaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the last film I saw there was Shop Girl.
Shop Girl, that's Steve Martin.
No, I'm sorry. The Andy Warhol, Edie Sedgwick.
That, like the old one. Okay.
Yeah, the old one, yeah.
That's amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
So since you put out the first album, it feels like you've really blown up. How has life changed for you in the last couple of years?
It's changed as far as just we went on like this rampant tour. It just kept going and going and going. And so life to us just became kind of touring, I would say. It just became like, let's go to every country we can go to. And we were lucky enough to get invited to all these countries. Like we went to India, went to Asia many times. I mean, we went to, China, Japan, went to Australia, and just South America and all this stuff, Mexico. So it was just kind of like going to all these countries just takes quite a lot of time, we found. So that just became kind of the theme for like the last years, was just where can we go? Like what are these locations that we can visit, that we have fans there? So it was so much so that we just had to say, to finish this record, we had to say, like, let's take a break. And, like, kind of turn down all these offers and stuff like that, which is kind of strange for us. We'd never really done that before. If we got offered a show before, we'd just say yes. We just always say yes. It just felt like the right thing to do. But now it's like, let's finish this music that's just lying around that we, like, know that's really good. Mm-hmm. And it has to just come out at some point. We have to stop touring and put it out. I'd say life was just touring, and now it's, like, getting back into that, and it's going to go on for a while. I think we just want to be more creative when I put out more music, is all. Kind of balance touring and creativity somehow.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of new music, the new album is called Cry. Let's hear a couple more songs from it.
Sure. So this is Heavenly.
It's Cigarettes After Sex, live on KEXP.
2, 3, 4.
Wanting your love to come into me, feeling it slow hear the waves as I heard you say, all that I want is to be yours. Falling in love, falling in love, deeper than I've found it before with you, baby. I feel love, falling in love with all my heart. Back when you were far away, we would go on dates to watch the same movie, and you were imagining sitting next to me, holding my hand for the whole thing. Falling in love, falling in love, deeper than I've found it before with you, baby. I feel love, falling in love with all my heart. Falling in love, falling in love, deeper than I've found it before with you, baby. I feel love, falling in love with all my heart.
So good. Cigarettes After Sex live here on KEXP. The new album Cry just came out on October 25th. Definitely go get it. It's so good. And so nice to see you all again. Thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Thanks for having us again. Love being here.
Great. Have a great rest of your tour. And I look forward to hearing the next exotic location that you recorded.
Thanks so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Keep it tuned right here to the station where the music matters, 90.3 FM KEXP Seattle. Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.